we have not talked about OceanGate in a while. And I think that this is very interesting because there's something here that I am actually really, really shocked about. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But from my understanding, there is a over $50 million lawsuit being made out to the people who are running OceanGate. Okay. Now, if you guys don't remember, this is the Titan submersible. I think we all learned about the difference between a submersible and a submarine, right? And now this submersible went down to the Titanic and never came back. Let's not forget, we had quite an interesting summer, right? Where this submersible did not come back at all. We got some very interesting information revolving around that, but let me share with you guys first some information. Okay, let's talk about the new update around the the findings and the information revolving around this lawsuit, right? So let's take a look at this. Hold on, guys. Sorry. It's a lot of stuff up here and all doing it myself. Some crazy stuff. First things first, let me share with you guys this first. Okay. Crew, okay, of doomed Titan sub knew they were going to perish before implosion, lawsuit claims. Don't worry, there's more to this story, and it's absolutely crazy. A bombshell is going to be dropping at the end of this particular segment right here. Okay, the family of a French explorer who perished in the Titan submersible implosion has filed a $50 million wrongful death suit against the operator, claiming the crew suffered terror and mental anguish before disaster struck. Okay, so this particular family is asking for more than $50 million in damages, accusing OceanGate, the company that owned and operated the beleaguered Titan submersible, and its founder of wrongful demise, gross negligence, pre-death pain, and suffering and mental anguish, and other counts. His family filed the lawsuit in Washington State Court on August 6th. So just a little bit ago, it has not been long, okay? Now, they are saying that this particular explorer, or one of the passengers, he was also known as Mr. Titanic, okay, having participated in 37 dives to the Titanic wreckage site, the most of any diver worldwide, set out with 5 other crew members, okay, to explore the famous wreckage in June 18th, 2023, okay? But the entire mission came to a shocking end, which we already know about, right? When the vessel lost contact less than 2 hours into the voyage. The world watched as a search and rescue mission rushed to find the crew before the submersible's 96-hour oxygen supply ran out. You remember this. We were watching this like crazy. We were all at the edge of our seats trying to find out what's going to happen. Time was ticking. Oxygen was running out. And we're all sitting there going, what's going to happen here, y'all? What's going to happen, right? So the deaths that arose from the catastrophic implosion were directly due to the defendant's persistent carelessness, recklessness, and negligence, the complaint states. Let me share with you guys a video clip really quick so we could take a look at that as well. Oops.
Titan submersible, which imploded last year during a $1 million wrongful death lawsuit stemming from the doomed Titan submersible, which imploded last year during a voyage to the Titanic.
You may remember the images and videos that flooded social media around June last year. Well, the lawsuit is now describing the, quote, mental anguish of the victims. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii with the details.
Frightening new allegations about the harrowing experience for those 5 people killed aboard the OceanGate Titan submersible last June. The family of one of the victims filing a $50 million lawsuit, claiming long before the Titan was crushed under intense ocean pressure, only 90 minutes into the dive, the crew dropped weight from the submersible, indicating they tried and failed to abort the dive altogether. And the lawsuit says by experts' reckoning, they would have continued to descend in full knowledge of the vessel's irreversible failures, experiencing terror and mental anguish prior to the Titan ultimately imploding.
So they went through some serious ish, y'all. They went through some things, right? They went through some serious problems. And what's interesting about this is that there's more to this case. There's more to this story that is now starting to emerge and is absolutely insane. Hold on, we're going to get into it, but let me play just a little bit more, okay? Like I said, all of us have forgotten about this Titan, right? We remember the submersible, of course, and when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that thing, okay. Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. Oh my God, heart-wrenching, can't believe. But there's more to this story. There's more to this doggone story. So hold on to your butts. It's going to get wild.
90 minutes into the dive, there were problems, and the crew knew, and the passengers probably knew that there were problems because there were all kinds of warnings going off, and that terror that they were feeling in that submersible, in that very tight space, knowing that they may die, that is an element of damages that they should be asking the jury for.
The suit was filed by the family of French explorer Paul-Henri Nargeolet, who made 37 previous dives to the Titanic site. They allege OceanGate failed to disclose key facts about the Titan's durability.
Now, of course, there has been a lot of things that people have been talking about. We have been, we have deep dove into this. We have talked about this at nauseum and all that, talking about that there allegedly were some warning signs before everything went down, so on and so forth. And I got to be real. I mean, this is what they're finding in the reports as of late. Okay. And let's not forget, see the PlayStation controller? You know what I mean? It ain't even a PS5 controller, okay? This is like the most rudimentary of controllers, controlling this submersible to go all the way down under the sea to go see the Titanic. Pretty interesting stuff, right? But let's continue on. Pretty interesting.
We run the whole thing with this game controller.
The lawsuit claims the wireless electronic system was faulty, and that controller, along with the controls and gauges on the vessel, would not work without a constant power source.
Now, this is interesting, right? But now there's more information that has come out that I thought was very, very interesting and kind of mind-blowing, and I wanted to share with you guys because, again, this is interesting. Now, let me explain something really, really quick. Do you remember, okay? Do you remember when there was a time when people were talking and speculating and ruminating and all that stuff revolving around the possibility of the noise? Remember the noise that happened down in the water and they heard a knocking on heaven's door, right? We heard the knocking, right? We heard that audible, right? And we all sat there just dissecting it, talking about it, so on and so forth. Everyone's sitting there, we got connoisseurs of audio and, connoisseurs of sound waves and whatnot, dissecting it and putting in their expertise into whether that was them actually knocking down at the base of the water, of the base of the ocean, or if this was, or if it was just some other type of knocking. Well, I got something new for you guys. Woo! As of just a couple days ago, they say that Canada is saying that they are highly confident that they heard that the sound that was made was actually man-made. I'm not kidding. They said that knocking that we've all dissected, listened to a bunch of times, they are saying that it was man-made noises that were actually coming from, indeed, Titan submersible. Can't write this stuff. Can't make this stuff up. Let's get into this article, baby. Okay? So Canada's military was highly confident for days in June 2023 that bangs heard underwater while searching for the missing Titan submersible were man-made by an object striking the hull of a vessel near the famous Titan wreck site, okay? And this is what CBC News has learned. Those noises help keep hope going that the 5 wealthy explorers on board the missing vessel were still alive during the multi-day, multinational search, even though it is now believed that the vessel imploded within hours of going into the water. Now, internal government documents obtained by CBC News through the Access to Information Act reveal more details about what the Canadian Coast Guard privately documented during the search, including where a military patrol plane first heard the banging on June 19th, the day after the Titan went missing. Crazy, right? So the Royal Canadian Air Force, okay, heard multiple bangs that were highly confident are man-made by an object striking a hull. Read multiple daily internal notices written by the Canadian Coast Guard between June 19th and June 22nd. They believe the sound originated from near Titanic's wreck site at the depth of approximately 10,000 feet. That quote unquote sensitive information was included in more than a dozen internal emails and updates to officials at Fisheries and Ocean Canada, DFO, that CBC News obtained, all the way up to Jody Thomas, the Prime Minister's National Security Advisor at the time. Okay? So they're saying, okay, that those sounds that were made, they believe, like I said, highly confident that those sounds were actually made by the people inside the Titan. Pretty wild stuff, right? Now, I keep wondering why this isn't out here, why this information really isn't out here for everyone to see. Now, I know that last year, it was a huge thing. Last June, we were all talking about this. We were all covering it. Like I said, we were at the edge of our seats. We were all trying to understand and make sense of all of this because this was a tragedy. This was absolutely a huge tragedy, okay? And I've even said in the past, why would anybody want to feel 100% okay with being in a tuna can, okay? A faulty tuna can at that, all right? That is being controlled by an old school PlayStation controller. Now, we've talked about this at length in the past, but that noise that we heard, that banging, back then they were trying to make it seem like, oh, no, it's some other vessel that was underwater that was making that knocking noise. But we're now hearing that even Canada is sitting here going, no, we are very confident that was man-made, that was somebody knocking on the hull trying to get some help. You know that there was a theory that it went down, and as soon as it went down, it imploded, right? It was quick. But now we're hearing something different. And there could be a possibility that they literally were down there stuck, and things were getting bad, and things were slowly but surely getting worse, and then the implosion happened, right? There's a possibility of that, unless they self-sabotaged the situation themselves. I don't know. But it is very crazy to think that they went down there, everybody and their mama was wanting to know what happened to them. There was that big banging audio clip that was being shared all over the place. They debunked it back then, saying that it wasn't man-made. And now we're hearing that it actually was man-made. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. And heartbreaking. And now we have a family that is now suing for $50 million because they lost their loved one. And let's not forget, there should have been more than enough safety precautions made, safety procedures exacted way before that submersible went into the ocean in the first place. So I'm not surprised by this family going and actually suing for $50 million. They're saying that these people suffered before they perished, that they went through hell before they perished. And honestly, I'm not surprised about that. What information are they giving us? What information are they withholding? That's a question I still have for them. And hopefully we get that answer very, very soon.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.